max amount of torque that this thing has, man, it's impressive. You know, from 0 to 60, is this thing gonna win, you know, any kind of like super drag race against any kind of real performance car? No, but it's not meant to. So it's meant to haul loads, hook up a trailer, and work hard. And then even just driving down the road, if it can be relaxed and quiet, which this thing really is, it's great. Now, we reached out on a couple forums that we're on to see if we could get some people to either who needed things towed or who had trailers that needed to get towed or just things moved around. And unfortunately, we couldn't get anyone to come through. Although we did have one guy who's like, hey, I got something, but it would have been about 600 miles round trip for what he wanted to do, and that's about 8-10 hours worth of driving. We couldn't put that amount of time aside to do it, unfortunately. And then a few other people locally here who might have something. Well, they're all down in North Carolina for a drag race down at Holly Springs this weekend here. It's the first full week in April. So unfortunately, even though we tried, we really wanted to hook this thing up to 10,000 pounds plus and pull just to see how it does. Now, when you hook this thing up with a fifth wheel, and there are the spaces in place to put your fifth wheel hitch in the bed, the plugs, and we'll show you a picture here from the bed, and you can see where everything bolts down there. This thing can pull over 20,000 pounds. Now, in dually form, rear-wheel drive only, it's rated in excess of 30,000 pounds, but in four-wheel drive form, and as it sits right now, it's not going to be that close. But certainly, you're going to be able to tow anything worthwhile. And anything over a certain point, you're going to need a CDL license. Well, you're supposed to have a CDL license, so it'll get that job done, no problem. And as much as a lot of these things work and work hard, many people just drive them around like regular vehicles. That's what they commute in, and then use them occasionally for hauling dirt bikes or campers or whatever they need. So how does this function as just a daily driver? Well, actually, really, really good. A few weeks ago, we had a Toyota Tundra in for review. Hopefully you'll see that coming. You either have seen it or it will be coming. And I gotta say, this thing actually drives smaller than the Tundra, which is a half-ton pickup truck. It feels a little more nimble. It just feels better driving down the road. The fuel economy is really good. We've been just driving in and around town, mixed driving, and we've been getting about 16.5 to 17 miles to the gallon. And on the highway, we've seen as high as 19, although the average is right around 18 miles to the gallon driving on the highway. So that's nothing to sneeze at, especially when you look at the sticker and where you would see the fuel economy because of the weight of the vehicle. They're not required to publish fuel economy numbers. So 16 to 18, not a problem. And in talking to a few people, again on the forums that when we reached out to find some people we could tow some stuff with, the general census seemed to be from a couple of people in the forum who had similar vehicles, is that when you're towing, you're going to be seeing 14, 15, 16 miles to the gallon, even towing, like a 7,500 pound trailer, 75 to 10,000 pounds worth of trailer. And these are guys who typically have race cars and 28-foot enclosed trailers, and all the associated gear that goes along with going to the track. So fuel economy is good. The ride is amazing. If you didn't know that you were in a 3/4 ton truck, you'd be shocked at how good the ride is in this. If we put some weight in the back, would it ride a little bit better? Yeah, but it's not one of those things where you're like, God, I wish I could find some weight to smooth out the ride. It's been really, really good. As we said, the interior materials in here are quite nice. It has, what's kind of standard gauge package in a pickup truck these days. You've got your two main gauges and then a large LCD. in the center of the 2 gauges that has, 19 different screens to go through everything. So it's got all your technology package. It has a large touch screen that works rather well, although it's a little slow at times. Sometimes it's fine. Other times it's a little laggy, but it's not bad. This is an Alpine sound system in here, and it's good. No complaints about the sound system at all. In other Chrysler products we've talked about, the Jeep and the SRT8 Challenger, we've talked about how we really need to turn up the stereo almost all the way to get any kind of real volume. Not so much in this. It's good. So you get even the half the way up the volume, and it's cranking really good. Now, all of this sounds great, but there is a catch. In this day and age, trucks have become ridiculously expensive. I mean, it is truly hard just to get a half-ton pickup truck and sticker it for anything under $35,000 to $38,000. So now we're talking about a 3/4 ton truck, four-wheel drive, crew cab with a diesel. And those of you who know where I'm going with this thing, right? Because you're sitting there going cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Yeah, there's a lot of cha-ching in this vehicle. To the tune of $67,425 with destination charges. Okay, it's not $70,000, but we're pretty close to it. So $67,000 for a pickup truck. Now, I can, in this day and age of what trucks cost, is it value? No, it's not value. But given, again, what these things cost, what pickup trucks cost in this day and age, it's not unreasonable. And if you buy this and you're willing to spend $67,000 on the truck, are you going to feel cheated somehow, or like, my God, I can't believe I spent that much? No, I think you'll be very, very happy with this thing. Now, if you're a contractor or independent business person or self-employed, having a vehicle at this weight offers some definite tax advantages, especially if you're leasing. But even if you're buying, because the weight of the vehicle, you can write off a significant chunk of this, and so it makes it a little more palatable. Yes, you still spent the money, but okay. So, how does this stack up to, say, Ford and Chevy? Well, we haven't driven the 2500, 3500 Chevy GMC in about 2 years. And we remember that being really good. Fuel economy was actually excellent in that thing. We were able to pull down 20 miles per gallon. In a similarly sized, similarly equipped, it's a 4-door, 4-wheel drive diesel. So no complaints. It stacks up very well against at least the GMC, and I'd say it's equipped about the same. Chevy, haven't driven one recently. The Ford F250, our issue with the Fords is, of course, they're nice, they're amazing. They just feel like they're about 14 feet wide. This thing doesn't feel so wide, and that's why we think it feels like it drives so much better. So to sum it up, Ram 2500, superb truck, really a superb truck. The Cummins motor in this thing, of course, Cummins diesels, legendary. This will go 500,000 miles, and as long as you keep the oil changed and don't do stupid things with it, it's gonna run. It's got everything you'd want. Price is reasonable. So if you need a hardcore work truck, this is going to be a really good choice.